Why, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Shobo. Today is Thursday, August 11th, 2022. My day yesterday was quite busy. Started off with a trip to Chesapeake, Virginia, in order to help with picking up the auction winnings that my mother won from an estate sale, an online estate sale. She won a few things. It's a good thing we recently got a new vehicle, a new used vehicle of SUV size, because she won a few things, just a few. So I helped with that, and by the time I got back, I had a delivery of Game Boy Color IPS screens and cases that were made to fit those screens, as well as some buttons, custom buttons for those consoles. So my evening, late afternoon, was building those four consoles, and I have built them. I like them. I like them quite a lot. I have them here. I used the original stickers for the back of these, but yeah, we've got here white with blue buttons, a white themed console with blue buttons. I don't like that it has the logos. I want to make it clear I don't like that it has the logos on them, but oh well. Not many options out there that don't have logos. Got one in clear with original buttons. I chose to use original buttons on this one. The screens get extremely bright and they use a lot of power. And I got one that's a blue, transparent blue with the white and white buttons on them. Which, my gosh, just to get the start select buttons, you have to make a completely separate purchase on the buttons, because when you buy the buttons, they only include the A, B, and D pad, and not the start select. You actually have to buy a separate membrane kit to get the start and select, and you end up getting the, like, pads, membrane pads for the D pad and the A and B buttons. So if you want a matching start select with the other buttons, you have to do two things, buy two things for them. It's obnoxious. And the last one is a black transparent with red. I chose red buttons on this one for black transparent stuffs. So yeah, that was my afternoon. My favorites of those are the blue and the white one. The white one with the light blue buttons and the darker blue one with the white buttons. I like those two the most of the set. Don't know about doing more of the like completely clear or the black clear. I just don't really care for those colors at all, / lack of colors. But anyway, that was the afternoon. A bit of time was lost because I was having some issues. Issues that ultimately stemmed from my my power supply for the Game Boy Colors. So I've got, if it will undo. So I've got something that looks a little bit like this. It looks a little bit like this on this end. The smaller of these two is the one that goes into the Game Boy Color. And then this is the business end of the thing. This is the business end. It's got a little switch on the bottom to switch between 3 volt and 6 volt. which 6 volt is for Game Boy original, and 3 volt is for the Pocket and for the Color. However, while it may be 3 volts, which is what the Color is supposed to use, it caps out at 250 milliamps on its output. 250 milliamps, which, as it just so happens, is not enough to power the new screens on these consoles at their highest brightness settings. It's not enough power. It doesn't get sufficient wattage, aka it doesn't get sufficient amperage, because it's steady 3 volt in. It doesn't have the amps. Like, okay, that's not something that I expected, to say the least. They work fine on the highest brightness settings with batteries. You just need to be careful if you're going to use a AC to DC power supply. You have to be really careful. You have to get something that supports more than 250 milliamps at 3 volts. It needs to be 3 volts, and it needs to be more than 250 milliamps. I don't know exactly the magic number of what it needs to be, but it needs to be more than 250. I know that for sure, to support that highest brightness setting. It works fine with my rechargeable batteries, which are more like 1.2 volt, and, you know, batteries. They're only like 1500 milliamp hours on the 2 of them, so, you know, 3000 milliamp hours total across, with 1.5 or 1.2 volts max, so less than 1.2. These can output the amperage necessary. Batteries can output with variable amperage depending on what you need. It just goes through the amp hours faster by doing that. They just drain faster. That's the magic behind the batteries. So, after that learning experience, I'm now ready to move on. I am... Oh, because of the AC/DC thing, I realized, hey, maybe it's my actual DC power supply that was the issue with the tantalum capacitors that I installed on the older consoles. Maybe it was that DC power supply that was the issue the entire time, not being able to output enough power to satisfy the new caps, or to work with the new caps. That was my thought, because they worked fine with batteries, the ones that had all that extra noise on it, at the very least. I don't know about the ones that just didn't turn on. I don't think that those will still work. I actually have to test that again. I need to find one of the ones that just didn't turn on. Although, I may have those listed already. I may have those listed for sale already, so I can't really muck about with them, but regardless, I think that power supply being limited to 250 milliamp hours, or milliamps, excuse me, is a cause for issues. The cause of issues. Great. I mean, it was a thing that came with Game Boy Color purchase, so I got it basically for free anyway, and I've been using it for my testing because it's a lot more convenient. I can use it on a bare board without having to like reattach the case for the battery contacts, because I don't have like an alligator clip battery supply. Should probably get one of those, I think, so I can just clip it onto the battery contacts and have battery power without having to reattach the board to the case. Anyway, stuff, things, game. Hello. Time for game. Time for Captain of Industry. Let's load in to our stream save here. I did play a bit on my personal save. We do not have Kitty right now, so we'll get rid of that. Okay, so things from learnings from my personal save. I don't like the mega stuff, the mega vehicles. Just in general, I don't think I like them very much, and it will take some explaining. In my experience, they've been slower than the smaller vehicles in and producing less overall throughput than the smaller vehicles. Just in my current experiences on the personal save. And I think it comes down to the dump trucks. I think it comes down to the logistics, not so much the excavator itself. But you also have to think, when you have fewer entities like this, you're losing more time to swing action. Like, yeah, they hold 60 units of stuff per bucketful, but they are not always digging. When they dig something, you have the animation of them swinging around to dump, and the animation of dumping before they have to animate back to start the next cycle. These seem slower than their smaller counterparts at the animations. And then inefficiencies with dump truck, like the mechanics of the haulers, make it so that these guys end up having to sit and wait for longer to actually offload their stuff overall. So you either need a ton of trucks to consistently service these, or just use more of the regular trucks. Like, I'm thinking at this point that the only reason to use the dump trucks is if you if you are having issues with your vehicle cap. Like, if you are at cap and you need more moving of stuff, that's when you should start using these largest size of vehicles. Maybe these mega excavators are worth it, or maybe not. We have a kitty. We have an Ollie. Ollie has brought a mousy. Christmas mousy. Hi. Yeah, that's your mousy. Yeah, you like your mousy? You like your mousy? Yes, Mr. Cat. That's the Mr. Cat there. Yeah, hello. Hello, big boy. Yeah, that's your baby. That's your mousy. Oh, you've hooked the towel. You hooked the towel. Yeah, you got your claws out. You got your claws out. Big boy. Big boy with his claws out. Yep, there he goes. Alright, you. We're gonna... Now where'd it go? It went flying. Yeah, that's my hand. Hey, no biting. No biting. Well, I don't know where it went. It went to the floor. That's all I know. I think it's under the chair. Found it. Hey, bah. Okay. Go get it. Go get it. Chase. Run. Be free. Be free, kitty. Hello, good morning. I'm just ranting about how the throughput on these mega excavators seems to be lower overall on my personal save than I would expect for their like numbers. The numbers say that they're supposed to be faster, but they're not in reality, thanks to inefficiencies with animation speed and just the fact that every time one of these excavators moves, which they're slower on their movement as well, anytime they have to relocate, the dump trucks, they'll just unload. They'll just go to unload at your storage, even if they're not full. They don't follow the excavator until they're full, which is the problem, which is a pretty big problem. So you can end up with partial loads on these guys moving, which is really bad. So I don't think I want to use them at all. Welcome back, Ollie. Goodbye, Ollie. Yeah, I don't want to use them because they are extremely inefficient. At least with mining, they're extremely inefficient. I'm sure that they're better with moving of loose stuff as part of your logistics network. They're probably better with that, but I would rather just not use them, I think. And then as for the tanks in my personal playthrough, the tank trucks, no. Short answer is no. Just no. Just no. They have a very specific niche use case where you are moving fluids between tanks and you have to restrict that truck to only operating between tanks because it will go without its full load to deliver to places that need less than a full load. If a building needs less than a full load, it will send it, making very inefficient use of the capacity of the tank truck. So, yeah, not going to use it. Straight up, not going to use it. So as it turns out, the only real, mega vehicle we will end up using fully will be the mega excavators in the end. So yeah, we are, in fact, not going to be making those. And if I have any, which fortunately I do not, I will delete them. So instead, what we're going to do here... we did get rid of all of the regular pickups. We got rid of all the pickups, so we only have trucks now. Trucks are just extremely versatile. They are extremely versatile. I really want to keep using these more than any of the other larger vehicles, because we can use them on our mecha excavators and our regular excavators. And hey, guess what? With the truck, it is the exact size of a single load of the mega excavator. So if you have enough trucks, you get no downtime on your mega excavator. It just dumps and goes, dumps and goes, dumps and goes. With the trucks. Yeah, the trucks will move more often than the dump trucks, but you won't have the inefficiency of the incomplete loads as much with regular trucks. Hello, Ollie. You have come back, and you are playful. Ollie, hi. Yes, he is. He's going after me. He's going after my hand. Yeah. My boy. The boy. Yes, that's the boy. Focus. Focus. That's the Ollie. Yes. That's Ollie. He's here. He's there. Yeah. Yeah. Big Ollie. That's the big Ollie. Right in front of the camera. Yeah. Hi. So what am I doing? What did we do last time? That's a great question. Well, we got the ability to build the big excavators last time. That was really the main thing. Like, in terms of progress, like genuine progress, we didn't really do too much. We're gonna have a bit of a population issue relatively soon. Yeah, I didn't really do much, I think. In terms of actual progress, we built a greenhouse here. Well, we're upgraded to a greenhouse there. We started moving things out of the way to free up more space for population. Really, we're having to deal with the issue of moving the coal mine. That was the biggest thing from last time, was moving the coal mine over here from here, considering we mostly mined this out. And I am considering just filling this in at this point, just setting a dump zone, but that's only if I don't need any others. Yeah, I need this ramp finished with priority. And once that ramp is finished, I will start filling this in. That shall be what we end up doing as we wait for the silicon tech. Now, silicon is very easy. We've already gotten, I think, the ability to bring in quartz. Yeah, we've brought in the quartz already. Oh, and making this coal worse, like making things even worse with this is that this is a very thick layer of not coal on top of the coal. There is a very thick layer of not coal on this coal. So we end up with a lot of not coal loads from the excavators. And we have to deal with that. We have to just deal with it. There's nothing really that we can do to solve that outside of trying to dig out completely the existing coal patch that we've already removed the overburden from. Now, there is an argument to be made for setting up excavators specifically to remove the overburden from the coal patch, and having dedicated vehicles mining out this patch, which I think that I will do. I think that I will do that, potentially. By the way, how's the, like, frame rate? How are the frames? Our limit is 30. For whatever reason, the Steam overlay is not showing my frame rate when it's supposed to show my frame rate. Hold on. Where's the frame rate? You're supposed to have... Why did these settings reset? Like, I had a whole bunch of settings with Steam just reset on me. Adaba, my Ollie. Chew from both ends. It comes down again to this overburden. This is actually a really small patch. This is actually a really, really small patch of coal right here. And in fact, it's really deep. That's the other thing. So either way, if I wanted to come at it from both ends, I would need to dig another ramp down and then in And it very quickly, very, very quickly, we get to this aspect with all of this dirt and rock over top of the coal. So I'm going to need something to get rid of all of that. I know it's the same vein. There's just going to be a lot of stuff on top of it. It's all going to be... It will be an issue on overall throughput if I don't take care of the overburden on top of the coal there. So we're going to make a couple of extra excavators, mega excavators, and I'm going to build another... Yeah, I'm going to build another one of these, although I think I can move the area. Because I don't need that, right? Yeah, I don't need that. So I can edit this area. Unfortunately, that doesn't really cover what I want it to. So I'll just build a new one. Somewhere over here. And this area will be this. Right in here. Now, for this, what we're going to do is we're going to set it so that the harvesters will focus only on... Well, we're going to finish this ramp first, which it looks like we've mostly finished this ramp. I can tell this to dump to +2 in here. No, that is not what I wanted. I did not want +1. I wanted +2. Thanks. There we go. So that will fill all of that in. For now, it will get a lot of the garbage. It'll fill with trash. It's gonna have a lot of trash filling it up, but that's okay. All right, so you quick deliver. I need that overlay, and then I need to think about how deep we need to go and what sort of a mining designation we're going to use here. So I'm going to get rid of the mining designation that like overlaps on here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it to start digging down. Now, how many layers are we dealing with at maximum? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I think. 14 depth. So from 21 to 14, or 21 minus 14, goes down to +7, which is lower than the +10 on this level. Isn't that glorious? Yeah, it actually goes deeper than the base level here. Oh boy. All right. So we need to go all the way down to +7, huh? And it doesn't need to be perfect. We just need to get rid of most, not all. It doesn't need to be restricted either so much. This can be giving me more coal as we go. The chances are it is going to run into coal no matter what, but did it just... I hate this sometimes. I tell it to be flat, and yet it's attaching to the ramp. Like, don't do that. Thanks. Alright, and then over here, this side. The hell? This should probably be 4 wide. Excuse me, I did not want to remove the tool. Why do you say invalid position? Hello? Okay, game. And will you let me put a flat here? No. But you let me click drag to it. You don't let me start there, but you let me click drag to it. Alright then. Shall we build 4 of these? I think I shall build 4 of these. Whoops. Dirt. Dirt. Rock. Rock. Coal. Dirt, rock. Build. There went a few units of construction part 3s, and it didn't even do the... oh, I chose 4s. I didn't realize I chose 4s. Oops. Oops. I thought I chose 3s. I chose 4s. Well, it will be fine. Everything will be okay. I wish I could tell them not to mine something in this mine zone. That would be great. I would really like to tell the game to not mine specific materials in a specific mining zone. But what's fun is that if you have overlapping zones like this, you could actually... you could tell it to dump for a bit, and then tell the other one to then mine it. Mine what you dump. Unfortunately, you can't do it at the same time. It's a manual operation. Okay, we got an excavator. We got an excavator. Okay. Now, let's let progress happen. How is my steel? Bad. It better be. It better be bad. I really need more steel, don't I? I mean, I have 4. I could use another 2 of these. But if I can live with it, the next upgrade happens at Arc Furnace 2. If I can live with it, the next upgrade is at Arc Furnace 2, which is going to use a bunch of power, but it also doesn't really use coal directly. It uses graphite, and it converts 36 into 48. Where's the one for steel? Does it not do steel? Wait, do you not do steel? What's outside of the area? Oh, that? That is like, well, duh. There, stop complaining. The Arc Furnace 1 is going to unlock with silicon, yes, but it doesn't include any other recipes besides the silicon recipes. That's all you get with Arc Furnace 1 is the silicon recipes. But I find it really weird. Why do we not get better steel? Well, I guess the steel is technically just the Oxygen Furnace 2s. So unless we're unlocking a new furnace, which we don't seem to be, it is the same, functionally the same as iron. So yeah, it'll be 3 graphite, which you can get graphite from CO2 recycling, which, oh hey, you can convert exhaust to CO2 to graphite to keep the system going. We have finished silicon. Glorious. The silicon is done. So let's get silicon online. So silicon is going to involve what exactly? I know what it involves. It involves this reactor needing hydrogen, so we're going to need to be able to get some hydrogen, and then it uses a furnace, or an arc furnace, excuse me. It uses the arc furnace to convert quartz, coal, and graphite. So we need to actually make graphite from coal, as well as deal with exhaust and slag, and then the silicon gets processed in 2 silicon reactors. We need 6 hydrogen, and we need the graphite, of which the graphite gets made in the chemical plant 2 out of chlorine and coal, and it makes sour water. Well, we have sour water processing here, so may as well do it near here. How much graphite does it make? It makes 12. It's 1 to 2 for coal into graphite. So we shall do that first. Let's start with this. Put in a storage. Set this recipe. You need chlorine, which I should be producing chlorine. I had better be producing chlorine. If not, I can add more chlorine. And then I need a storage loose for that. And then it's unit storage on the graphite. Why are you trying to attach? I don't want you to attach. No, if anything, I would want you to attach to that. That right there. Quick deliver to you. Quick deliver to you. Quick deliver. Just deliver. Gib things. Coal. Bring it in. And that should be that for production on graphite. Initial production on graphite. Ta-da! Kitty has left. So that solves the graphite. The next solving is that I need hydrogen for this silicon. I'm going to do all this over near where I have that quartz input. So I'm going to set up a tank to bring in fuel gas. Note that because this also produces CO2, that means this could produce graphite. Please show my steel production. Right now, my steel production is using blast furnace 2s, so it looks a little bit different than blast furnace 1s at the beginning of the game, in that it's got this extra crusher that is bringing ore in, crushing it, and then feeding into the blast furnace. I've also got a limestone storage that's feeding into the furnace line, and coal that's feeding into the furnace line. So just storages that feed the buildings what they need. Just lines of storage feeding the buildings what they need. And then water ground pumped to provide the water for the cooled casters. And it's a single air separator to feed enough oxygen for 2 of the oxygen furnaces. So 1 air separator between the furnace into furnace lines. And that's about it. From there, it's just dealing with the exhaust. And for this particular one, I deal with the exhaust by doing exhaust scrubbing. But that can be just vented, so the furnaces can just get their vents on the little vent output here on the exhausts. And we deal with the slag with a conveyor design or put in just for the slag. So I've got a storage here set to always empty the slag, and that's how the steel is currently working. It effectively looked the same with the regular blast furnace. The only addition here is the crusher on the sides. So it was effectively the same with blast furnace 1. So, over here, hydrogen. How much carbon dioxide on that technology? 72 makes 3. 72 makes 3. Okay, so this makes 1.5 graphite. Wonderful. 1.5 entire units of graphite can get made out of the hydrogen reforming from 36 fuel gas. Yeah, and then how much gets used in the silicon? You need 3. So it actually it gives you 3. It gives you half the graphite you need by just producing the hydrogen. Actually, this produces way more hydrogen than you need, so it's way less than half, ultimately. But every little bit helps, because that's less coal that you're using. Speaking of less coal that you're using, I would very much like to set up uranium at some point, but I'm going to focus on... Gosh, I don't even have the uranium. I don't even have these techs in the queue. Oh boy. Let's think about this for a sec. Glassmaking 2 is obscenely good. This is extremely good, so what I want to do is I do want to have that really early in the queue. I guess I should get the wastewater treatment to deal with the toxic slurry, because I think that the only toxic slurry recipe that we have uses the filter media, and we don't get filter media until that tech, right? I'm pretty sure. Hey, thank you so much for becoming a subscriber. Where was that previous water tech? Water treatment 1. Where's water treatment 1? Water treatment. Oh, you don't. Huh? Where's the toxic slurry treatment tech? It's before this, I know. It was like, huh? I don't know, but I need to add that to the queue before I can really do this. And it'll be nifty when getting into gold as well, so I can go into microchips. So I was looking at microchips. I haven't gotten to the microchips on my personal save. It's only slightly ahead of where we are now. This is fun. They write this text for very good reason. They write this text for very good reason. It says microchips typically go through a lot of stages, including washing and coating in between. It is good to start small and then expand. Small setups can be connected in the form of a loop with a sorter. We're going to be using several sorters. So you could do the entire process with one microchip machine, I'm pretty sure. It depends on how many input slots the microchip machine has for inputs. Because I see here that there's copper, plastic, and gold as solid inputs, as well as the, like, each stage of chip. So you've got like 4 things. I don't know how many input ports this thing has. That's the only problem. If it only has 3 input ports, I'm gonna need 2 at least. Yeah, I would need 2 at least if it doesn't have enough input ports to import the copper, plastic, and gold on their own, not on their own standard lines, or shall we say just dedicated lines. 1, 3, or 9 depends on how much teraflops you got. I mean, that tells me nothing. Like 9 machines, 1 machine, 3 machine, or 9 machines. And then I'm assuming that these machines have at least the 2 fluid ports, because we've got steps that need 2 fluids in. as well. So I know that this thing at least has the 2 input fluid ports. I just don't know how many solid line ports, flat inputs it has. That's the main thing. Also, funny thing with the progression in this game is that these construction part 4s, they don't consume electronic 3s / microchips, but they exist in a building that needs maintenance that needs microchips for the electronic 3s. Hello, Ollie. Welcome back, kitty. That's the boy. Yes, that's the boy. Hey, that's the Ollie. Why are you here? Why are you here, Ollie? Yeah. Pretty Ollie. Yes, pretty Ollie. He wants attention. He wants his pets. Yes. Oh, he's nuzzling. He's nuzzling. He's nuzzles. He's Mr. Nuzzles. Yes, yes. Oh, I know. I know. I go to put my hand back and he's just rubbing. Nuzzles. He's nuzzles. Anyway, progress. Let's make progress. Progress is good. I like progress. This will need steam. Source of steam, which means source of water, which we happen to be near water, so I can add sources of water very, 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 very easily. He's moved. He's moved. Hi. And bye. So the water is I'm not concerned with. I will, of course, do a coal boiler. To provide that steam. Smokestack that. Smokestack that. We want the hydrogen from here. Arc furnace. And coal. Along with quartz. Oh, and graphite, so I guess you will be quartz. And actually, you will be the graphite. Actually, graphite is not one of these. Graphite is a flat unit storage. Graphite. Let's go. Yeah, it was stormy here. Hello, Ollie. Welcome to the chair. It was stormy here yesterday afternoon. Slag, 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 slag. Slag, always empty. Silicon reactor. Hello, Ollie. Hello. He's still nuzzles. He's still nuzzles. Hey. You came back for more nuzzles? You came back for more nuzzles? Yes, Ollie. How are you? Yes, nuzzles. Nuzzles. Yeah, he's forcing his face into my arm, into my hand. Whoops. Attach! Attach! There we go. There we go. There's Ollie. Oh boy. Why you no fuel gas? I've got fuel gas. I know I have a little bit of fuel gas. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, coal. Speaking of. Ta-da. Ta-da-da-dee-da-da-doo. The quartz is right here. The quartz is there. Okay, it's right there. Speaking of right there, I need one of these. Ta-da. Yeah, so these have the proper exclusion zone on them, but the tall ones don't. So you can end up having your dump directly next to each other. There. There. Party out. Coal in. Delete this pipe. I'm going to need a ramp. Build! Ollie. Ollie, why are you on the piano? Yeah. Yeah, you get down. Ollie is trying to get my attention. Hey. What are you doing? What are you doing, big boy? I think he wants to, like, get in my lap. Yes, he wants lap. That's what he's trying to tell me. It's like, I want attention in your lap, but the microphone's in the way. So, no. No. Later. Lap later. Hey. He's gonna jump. He's gonna jump on me. He's like already. He's like coming up onto the arm and like looking over the armrest at me. Yeah. Now you're on the other side. Oh boy. No science. Oh noes. Hi, welcome back. Welcome back, kitty. He does this. he's going. He's trying. He's trying to get to the lap and failing. It's like he will insist on making the attempt to get into the lab, but it will fail. So, stuff, things, progress. How's this progress? I can assign you another thingy, can't I? What? Ah. Yeah, vehicle parts would be great. It would be great if I had the steel. Yeah, it would be great if I had the steel. Let's not boost those anymore. So while this does its thing, removing overburden, I should set it to focus on the dirt. Just, that's less work that these will have to do when pulling out the coal. Just less work for the others. Okay. Then I guess I need a storage for the polysilicon. That should be that. We're just waiting on construction part 3s to happen at this point. That's all we need. It's more construction part 3s. Lots of them. Which, of course, are limited by my steel production. Excuse me. I guess they're limited by my trucks. Alright, I guess we're making trucks now. You're what? Oh, right, no construction part 2s. Gee, I wonder why. It probably has to do with the fact that they're all going into construction part 3s. Tell you what, we'll boost that so that it produces more, double the amount of this. And we will ideally have a backup on the vehicle part 2s as we're making 3s until this fills up with 180. Which is less, or we go through these last electronics, which is less than I need for an entire excavator anyway. Okay, good. Now you're getting parts. So we clearly need more trucks. Makes me think, can I pull off... I mean, I guess I'll pull off all of those trucks. My issue with having dump trucks being on general logistics duty is that they will attempt to... they'll attempt to service coal storages that they cannot access. That's been my biggest complaint. It's not been my biggest overall complaint, but it's been a major complaint with the dump trucks in general and just the big vehicles in general, is that the game does not care about whether or not the assignment is accessible based off of the vehicle type. It assigns agnostic of whether or not the vehicle can actually get there. It only does that calculation after being assigned the task, and there's no fallback. There's no, like, oh, this isn't accessible, therefore I should assign to something else. Even if there are available assignments, it will refuse to assign to something else and simply error out and do nothing until it gains access. Or you move the vehicle manually, which will reset the assigned task. They need to add a fallback check, or of some description. They need to add a check. But I don't want... I shouldn't have to do that when I have vehicles where it is accessible. I have vehicles that can access these things. I shouldn't be forced to design for my largest vehicles to have access to literally every location in the entire base. I shouldn't have to do that. Like, the vehicles that can get there are the vehicles that should be assigned to go there. The large vehicles that can't get there should not be assigned to go there in the first place. The game should know this. This is a thing that they should be calculating on the assignments. Some sort of a check after assignment is accessible check after assignment, and if not, assign to new thing. Like, add the assignment back to the queue for another vehicle. Oh yeah, and this is fun. The dump trucks go to your fuel station like all the other trucks, and they aren't servicing your excavators while they do that. They aren't servicing the excavators while they do that. So if you think you only need 6 for, or 3 for 2, oh boy, you were wrong. There is no reason why that these vehicles could not be serviced by regular trucks with tanks. But that's not how it works. You see, these are trucks. They will always manually refuel by going to a gas station. They will always go to a gas station or the closest source of fuel, really. They will go out of their way to get there. Only excavators get serviced by fueling trucks. They are the only ones serviced by fueling trucks. Everything else has to go to a fueling station to refuel, including your excavators, your dump trucks, which really sucks. Because that is fuel that they're spending to go out to the fueling station. I want to delete these guys, frankly. I want to delete these. They are incredibly inefficient at doing their job. They are incredibly inefficient. I really don't like them. Much rather have more trucks. Well, the thing is, when trucks aren't moving, they are not spending gas. When they are not moving, they are not spending gas. This is not the same, actually, with excavators, which will always consume fuel, even if they're waiting, which is so dumb. It's like, oh yes, I am doing absolutely nothing right now while waiting for a truck. Let's keep our engine on and using power, using fuel. I've got trucks at the fuel station doing nothing. The vehicles that aren't moving should also not be using maintenance either. It should only be using maintenance when it's running. If it's sitting and doing nothing, it should not be using maintenance. I mean, I'll take 2 off of that, but I'm not taking any more off. Oh, come on. There were 40, and then a truck was supposed to have delivered, but I didn't get a delivery. What? It briefly showed that there were 40. I guess... No, we're out of electronics. What the hell happened? What just happened? That button was enabled and then it was disabled, and I thought I saw a truck grab vehicle parts and then drive to this building to drop off, and then it didn't actually get the delivery. Oh right, I have a vehicle depot too here. I really didn't need to have this guy be the one making these vehicles. We can do that and quick deliver. No, you do not need to do that for mega excavators. You do not. Absolutely do not. In fact, that would be a waste of your tankers. Like, excuse me, your tankers hold 180 units of fluid at a time. They will only travel with the exact amount that they need to refill a fuel tank. No, they are not good for this particular purpose. There is only one scenario that you should use tankers for, and that is moving full capacity between fluid storages, and have them assigned explicitly to do just that, moving fluid from one storage to another. That is the only time where they are used efficiently. Every other circumstance, they are being used inefficiently because they will be moving without full loads. Their value exists in the fact that they can hold a lot more stuff than a regular vehicle. And if you're not using that, then you're not being efficient with your usage. And yes, a pipe can do that, which is why I'm saying that these fuel tank trucks are completely irrelevant. Fuel tankers are the least relevant of the entire set of vehicles in the game. You need to build exactly 0 of them. Dump trucks, I don't like them. I don't like them. I'm not going to build any more of them. Unless I absolutely am forced to because of my vehicle limit. Meow. Ollie. Ollie keeps meowing. Hey, we actually got electronics. Good. About dang time. Okay, electronics. So, to make the PCBs, you need polysilicon. I mean, yeah, the large tree harvester is sort of irrelevant too, but it has a purpose at least until you run out of trees on your island. And of course, the first thing you're going to do is delete those tree harvesters once you've gotten rid of all the trees on the island. So, you need the polysilicon to make the actual electronics, but The electronics 2s, it's an upgrade of electronics, so you have to keep in mind that to make these things, you're going to need glass, plastic, copper, rubber, and silicon. So you need 5 storage containers to make these. 5 at minimum. I'll do this like here. And then you need an assembler on the PCBs, an assembler on the actual on the electronics, which I'll do like here, and then one on the electronic 2s, and it needs its own storage on the end. I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna organize all of this, but oh well. That electronic 1s, where are those on this list? There they are. And then the actual electronic 2s. So this will be the polysilicon. This will be rubber. Meow. This will be copper. Going to 2 locations. This will be the plastic. And this will be the glass. Yes, Ollie. I know. You're meowing. What are you trying to communicate? Oh, come on. Don't lag. Ta-da! Ollie, what are you doing up there? Those boxes are in the way. You're gonna knock down the boxes. Ollie, get down. Get down. Ollie. He's on the bookcase. Yeah. Hi. Hi, Ollie. How you doing on that bookcase? Huh? How you doing? Why are you up there meowing? You're meowing at me. Why? Because he wants my undivided attention. That's what he wants. He wants undivided attention. Oh boy. As for making PCBs, we aren't making the silicon yet. Or are we? We have it! We have polysilicon. Ta-da! It exists! Polysilicon exists! It's here! And it's glorious! Beautiful stuffs. Yay. Beautiful polysilicon. It only takes 750 kilowatts of power off of the arc furnace. Ah, yeah. Arc furnace uses a lot of power. Just for reference, it's a good thing I have up to 15.6 megawatts right now. It's a good thing I built 2 of these lines. The only problem is they're using a lot of coal. They're using a lot of coal. You assign to that. Grab a couple of more of those. Good, you are producing. It sounds like Ollie came down, finally. Hello. Welcome back to the desk. Welcome back to the desk, Ollie. Focus, focus. Yeah. Yeah, lay down. That's the pretty boy. That's the pretty boy. Hey, Gaba. Hey. Ba. Ba ba. No. No. Ba ba. Ba ba ba. He's energetic. Clearly. Okay, we have a little bit of a fuel issue. How, I don't know, but we do. How we could possibly be having a fuel issue, I don't know. God, Unity boosting this will be awful. Do you produce... I don't need to Unity boost that, do I? No. Yes. How about you? Do I need you? Yes. What? Oh, you're choking. That would explain a few things. So, I built this to process heavy oil. And in that process, I didn't actually connect all three. So this entire time, rather than running off of all three, I've been running off of 2. That would explain the issue on the diesel. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Oh, no, you can't, because I just built a... I just built a thing in your way. Uh-huh. We're gonna recover that one. So I guess I don't need to Unity boost this. Ahem. What do you mean? Yeah, I guess so. I guess it used to come through here. Okay, the question is, how do we fix this? How does this get to be accessible? I think the answer is it doesn't, and must be moved. Don't really need to be that. Okay, quick deliver. can delete that, but the problem is they can't get to it. The problem is they can't actually get to this. So I just have to turn off the stuff there and just have it be this. Fine. Be that way. You can reach there now. Good, they're working. This is working wonderfully. You can see just all of this, the time it takes to get rid of all of this is just astronomical. How much further down are you going? You're almost at +9. Which is here. I'm thinking of resetting this and telling it to only go to +9. That does not matter. Alright, +10 it is. Yeah, it was at +7 on the depth, but I think that the +10 will be sufficient. Because the whole purpose of this is just helping to clear out the overburden for the actual harvesters to come in later. Whoops, I do not want 22, I wanted 10. All of this is just to spend the time now so that they're not spending the time later. And note that this level, I believe, is +10 baseline, this level, so they're pretty much mining to the base level of this tier at this point. And that way this will spend less time essentially harvesting coal and doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is getting rid of all of the dirt and rock. Yeah, it doesn't matter that the excavators are on top of each other like that. That does not matter at all, especially since trucks are able to like clip into each other. Like vehicles can clip into each other. There's no inefficiencies about them being together like that. Outside of maybe having to like relocate a little bit every so often, it just doesn't matter. This is a cargo ship is low on fuel. I guess I should technically give it a tank. Bring me diesel. Because even if I have this set to keep full with truck import, it game does not really still not enough? Huh. The game doesn't like actually delivering to the cargo depots and the shipyard for whatever reason. I don't really know why. They just don't like delivering directly to the cargo depots. They'll deliver to the fluid storages, but not to the cargo depots for some reason. There's Ollie's face. There he is. They updated that in in the most recent version. Yes, they updated that. It's part of the patch notes per 0.4.9. They where is it? Improved vehicle queuing for storages and gas stations that was causing low throughput. Vehicles can still be served one at a time, but they no longer waste time by forming a queue. So this is like it has more effects than what's written here on it. Really, what it means is that by doing this queuing improvement, is that the vehicles are able to stack on top of each other. That's really what changed on here. So even though only one is active at a time, they can all sit at the same spot now. And yeah, it really helps with throughput. Since they're not all running around everywhere, they can just sit clipped into each other if they need to. See, they're sitting clipped into each other, just waiting. We couldn't store all the canola after the harvest. Oh yeah, that's right. We were totally making snacks, weren't we? Were making snacks. Not enough corn? You're telling me I don't have enough corn? You're telling me that across the entire map, that somehow, some way, some shape, some form, I still don't have enough corn? Alrighty then. We shall make more corn. Yep, bunching up no longer matters. They can operate just fine as they are. Uh, the fuh? Oh. Oh no. Oh no. You know what just happened? This guy, this excavator, decided that it wanted to start harvesting over here. Yeah, Ollie heard something. He heard something. He heard something. He had to go look. So, maybe not put accessible mining designation there for the moment. We'll add it later so that the excavator can, stay in its location. That would be ideal. That would be highly ideal. Yes, he hears someone in the kitchen. He hears someone in the kitchen. So of course Kitty has to investigate what's going on in the kitchen, right? He's got to pay attention to whatever's going on in the kitchen. Well, normally I would say that I would want to replace all of my current excavators with the mega excavators. That would be a good thing, overall, but we are not lacking on our vehicle limit right now, nor are we lacking on mining ability right now. So I don't see a reason to. Not any particularly good reason to. Certainly as we scale, I will only be building the mega excavators when I need more excavators, such as when I start mining gold. Ahem. I will have excavators for when I start mining gold. Oh yeah, speaking of which, we have electronics. We have electronics 2s. They are actually called electronics 2. It is actually electronics 2. I did end up typing that correctly on the title of today's stream. This is in fact electronics 2 that we are making. Electronics 2s. So that means, and we're making three entire units. 3 whole units, isn't that glorious? 3 whole units of these electronics 2s. Which means that I am now able to consistently supply the 1.5 for 6 vehicle parts. Yay! We actually can consistently make vehicle parts 3s now without having to import any and trade our construction part 3s for them. Huzzah! Success. Glorious, beautiful success. So, what is next? Next will be glassmaking 2. I want to point out glassmaking 2 and its incredible OP-ness. Yes, OP-ness. Glassmaker 2s convert 48 molten glass into 72 units of glass, which is a 50% gain in efficiency in one building. Now, the Blast Furnace 2 will also get an upgrade. It will consume less coal overall to convert your glass mix into molten glass. This replaces 2 Blast Furnace 1s. Okay, so it's twice as fast as a Blast Furnace 1. And it feeds 1-to-1 into Glassmaker 2. So rather than making 48 glass off of a single setup for your glass, you're now going to make 72. But yes, the downside is that it is an extremely long building. It is a massively long building. Definitely, it's not lacking for length. So, unfortunately, that will mean having to basically build it like in place of this glassmaker in my setup, upgrade this to the furnace 2 and put down the new glassmaker next to it, and then like somehow route the thingy along the side on the glass. So we'll go from having 2x48 to 2x72, just magically 50% more glass production for basically free. I mean, yeah, it's, I think, going to be a few more workers and different space. It also won't be producing any slag either. It's like, yeah, this is just straight easy upgrade on the glass. It's super nice and worthy of having its own tech like this. Like, yes, it is so strong that it needs its own dedicated technology for it. And we are, in fact, slowly filling this in with trash. With the trash that our town produces. Speaking of which, are we producing enough water? We are, which is good. We have enough health supplies. We do not have enough snacks, of course. We never have enough snacks. But we are making enough of everything else. They could do with faster waste disposal. But we're keeping up for now. There's an argument to be made for recycling. I have not personally placed a waste sorting plant before, and it uses 45 workers. Didn't it use 50? Did they reduce that to 45? I thought it was using like 50, but anyway, the waste sorting plant takes recyclables. Which I have the recyclable collection. That reduces the garbage, the actual waste garbage. Same with the biomass collector. They have the effect of reducing waste in the town, but you know, if it's full, it's not really doing much. My concern on this is I don't know if this runs if an output is full. Like, do you get my question here? If any one of the outputs is full, do the others keep moving? That's a thing I don't know. If they do keep moving, I should have built this a long time ago. Okay? Like, if it does keep moving, even if, say, the gold is full, then it should have been done a long time ago. But if it doesn't move, if it doesn't keep moving, if any one of those outputs is full, well, then you can't really make use of it until you have a way of using gold. Only iron scrap builds up enough to block? No, but what I'm saying is that even if the output on the gold is really, really, really low, which I'm assuming it is going to be really, really, really low, even if that output is really, really, really low, if you built this early, you do have a chance of not having enough storage for that, or not storing it, and having that gold back up and jam the whole thing. So you either have to keep building additional storage until you're able to process the gold. Yeah. Until you're able to process the gold at the gold technology. And then even once you have the gold technology, you can't use it until electronics 3s. Microchips, really. That point being, it's a really long time after you get the ability to build the waste sorting plant before you can actually make use of an entire output here. And why does this have 5 outputs? What is this not existent 5th output? And why is there a blank double input? Like, why is there an extra there? Is there a technology unlock later in this tree? Or maybe they have plans for something else? There may be plans for something else. Input from labs and maintenance. Well, no, it's... those produce generic recyclables. Those produce recyclables. So that does not explain the because it has 2 inputs for recyclables, just generic recyclables. Yeah, there are other things that produce the recyclables, like the labs and the maintenance, but there are 2 input ports there that don't have an icon. And there are 2 output ports there that don't have an icon. I don't know what those are for when this machine only has 1 recipe. So the point of this machine is that you do get free recyclables from your town that you can use to process back into iron, copper, gold, and glass. And there are somewhat efficient recipes that you can use preferentially, but the problem with them is that you need to have your vehicles service those buildings, and I don't know if my vehicles can actually service these buildings. I don't know if I have enough room for the vehicles to get scrap to these buildings, which sort of sucks. I guess I only need 1 building processing the scrap, because I doubt that I'd be making 48 scrap a minute. Still though, it is enough to offset your ore expense, which I guess on harder difficulties would be a bit more relevant, because this is just normal difficulty right now. I mean, yeah, if I do go down that route, I would choose to have the recyclables, process the recyclables from the labs and from maintenance. Fortunately, the labs keep moving when they're full on recyclables, but apparently the maintenance does not. So I would have to change the recipe on the maintenance to the ones that produce recyclables, and I would have to prioritize the recycling of these recyclables over everything else. I mean, this is only 15 a minute per thingy anyway, so it's like we'd get at most 45 when they're all operational fully. How are you out of fuel? Just like, how? Alright, fine. It appears that even with all of the things running, we're still not making enough. So we'll run the edict while I Unity boost. That doesn't need to be boosted though. So this doubles the output on the diesel for that 1 line. That should get us over the hump, shall we say. Yeah, I know that if you have both the recipes on, that will still do that recipe that doesn't produce the recyclables. But I would still want that production. Like, I would want the production of everything, but meh, whatever. I think we have enough trucks. I don't know about you, but I think we have enough trucks to do all the servicing of the base. I think we are stable now. 23 idle. Yeah. I think we've stabilized by adding just a few more. Oh, and we actually ate through the queue. I'm too short of 100. We're going to build 2 more so I can say that I have 100 trucks. I would like to say that I have 100 trucks. That sounds like a wonderful idea. And then I could start building mega excavators if I really wanted to. I am actually full on my vehicle part 3s. We've obtained glassmaking too. Huzzah! Huzzy huzzoo. It is time to replace the glassmakers. So I'm going to start with one side and then do the other. First off, we have to upgrade the blast furnace, delete the other one. Clean all that up, please. Get it out of here quickly. Oh. Missed that. Okay, Glassmaker 2. Hello, Glassmaker 2. So, yeah, as mentioned, this building is just a little bit longer. It's just a little bit longer than the other one. No, you need a flat conveyor too. This produces 72 units. It needs an upgraded conveyor belt on its output. So yeah, that's that. That's that. That is able to do the job and with 50% more output all by itself. It's glorious. Absolutely glorious. It used 14 workers, which is, 2 more than previously. And then this is 18 as opposed to 16. So 4 more total workers for 50% more output. And not having slag on the Glassmaker 2. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth the time spent on that. Now I have to do the exact same thing with this one over here. We have 392 construction parts, so no, not boost, but upgrade. Upgrade that, and then same thing. Delete, 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 and delete, and delete, and delete. Get out. Excuse me. Oh. It would help if I aligned the thing. There you go. Build. Ta-da! So now we are able to produce 142, 44, 144 on our glass. And realistically speaking, the acid, yeah, this produces twice as much acid, so I don't even need 2 of these setups on the acid. I could just use 1 and provide the acid to both, which is a waste of workers. I need to do that, actually. It's like that's 7 workers being spent that don't need to be spent. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, about that, see? Oh, I hit upgrade when I meant to hit quick deliver on this guy. Okay. That makes better use of my workers a little bit by getting rid of that inefficiency there. Yeah. Lots of glass. So next up is the wastewater treatment 2 in preparation for setting up nuclear power. Then I'll go into gold and computing and all that. I'm sort of like leaving behind a lot of the Unity production for now. I don't really have much of a reason to use it. Are we still not making enough diesel even with the edict? I mean, I can understand filling up of the buffers around the base, but still. Like, I am processing the heavy oil too into additional diesel. So it feels like I have a lot in this array, right? Like I feel like I've built enough to complete the game with, and I am highly dissuaded from wanting to continue to scale the production on diesel from this. So there's just something with the balance. I don't know why they would want you to build even more than this. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would they want you to build even more than this for diesel? Like, that's super tedious. That's super tedious. Like, you realize how tedious it was just to build this in the first place, and now you're telling me I need even more diesel? Like, no. I refuse. There's legit no good reason why I need to build another one of these arrays. Now I do... Oh, I didn't connect the... Why are you blocked? I'm telling you to prioritize the... Oh, water? I must not have the throughput on the water pipes. Well, that would explain a bit, actually. Oh boy, yeah, this is probably using too much water. Oh yeah, I'm only making 72 for that? Oh boy, yeah, I need more water. I am producing more here. And it is exclusively going into this, which only needs 24. So you're saying that I can hook up that water line, huh? Here? Working on what on Tuesday? Water? Probably. We shall see. I wonder, is this getting enough water? No. Okay, I found our diesel problem. I found the diesel problem. It's been water the entire time. Okay, now to solve that problem. Yes, I did build... I set this up. I can build it now. This is actually a good copy-paste. A really good copy-paste. Whoops. You go there, you go... excuse me? You go there. And you can eat biomass, sure. So the only problem is, you know, getting said water to here for supplemental water input. So this is the main water pipe. I need to provide the water here from here. Ah, da 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 da, da 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 do. Get through there. Get through there. I need it on that. Deliver the 226 construction part 2s. That'll provide 72 net. Truck cannot reach what destination? Oh, you just happen to be stuck? Here? This? Oh yeah, because the new thingies. They have a way, I think, around. It's just that one truck got stuck there. Nope. Nope, they don't have access to that. Okay, how are we gonna give them access to that? Well, I can get rid of this pipe. And this pipe. Just clean that up a little bit. And from there... They call this small. They claim that this is small. Why are there 2 supports? Go away. Now come back. So I did that, and it doesn't really provide the truck access for the moment, but the moment I do something like that, get rid of all that, and then change this pipe to go underneath. Huh? Or over? Yeah, just over. Just connect to there. Like, I'm legit just going under a heavy oil line. Then they can access this. So, those pipes block. Yeah, they still can't reach. Like, you're kidding me? These pipes still block. And I can't get them under this ramp because of the thingies in the way. Oh boy. Okay. Step 1, you to there. And then get rid of that. Quick remove that. That is the starting point of the moves I need to make here. No. No. Okay, then we can get rid of this. And that. Now, what does that mean as well? It means that from here, I need to do that. Then I can take this and this. Run that there. Pipe 3. Excuse me. No, I want to run you under. So then, sneakily, what I'll end up doing is I will actually bring this pipe back in under here. And then hook it up there. And get rid of that, because that's actually blocking. Now, if the trucks still don't have access, I will be immensely confused. I am immensely confused. So they can go there. Oh, great. I can't, like, click on the... Oh, and apparently now they can't get here either. Oh, that's just lovely. Oh, that's just grand. Excuse me. You're joking, right? Okay. The frick! Frick! Why it no snap? When I tell it to snap. So here's the thing. If they can get under here, they can end up going around and getting to here. They go around. So why can they not use this ramp? I don't understand. They don't seem to be able to path over this ramp for whatever reason. Like I can try replacing the ramp. Just delete. Just remove and replace with the same ramp. Yeah, see, they go around. Like, what? Use the dang ramp. Hey! It used the ramp! Okay. They didn't like the ramp. They apparently did not like the ramp. That's just nuts. That be crazy. Well, if you're gonna focus over here... I was thinking of just punching straight through, but nah. Wow, still not enough corn. Oh, we're sick. We're sick. Oh noes. We have a flu. Moderate flu. We ate all of our medical supplies. Oh noes. Oh. Hello, steel. I like having enough steel. Okay, what was I doing before spending over half an hour on that? Not really. I think it was less than half an hour, but you know, there's stuff, things. Hey, we've got diesel happening. I think I can turn off the Unity on that, which is definitely a savings. Yeah, we were solving the water, and that whole thing was the process of solving the water. That was the after effects of solving the water issue. Canola to cooking oil. I mean, I've technically got the production here with the cooking oil. I do have cooking oil. In fact, I've got a full container of cooking oil. If anything, I could think... well, I can't make the cake yet because I don't have sugar unlocked. I should absolutely have enough corn, though, to keep this going, and yet it's not. Somehow. Like, come on, snacks. Like, seriously, come on, snacks. We need snacks. Part of me is thinking at this point that the only thing really left is waiting on technology. I want to formalize rock into gravel. So, as it turns out, gravel has uses outside of cement. Or actually, yeah, gravel is needed for filter media. Right here, gravel and sand and coal into filter media. This is what I'm preparing for, and it is 24 gravel, which, you know, that's the full output of a single crusher. So, thus why I am formalizing that. I will need sand and I will need coal. Sand and coal. And then what building was that in? That was in a mixer. Ta-da! This is going to sit for a little bit without a recipe until this tech pops. And then the filter media is a what? I don't know what type of storage it is. I'm gonna guess that it's a unit storage and go from... Excuse me? I guess not. This is only a loose output, so I guess it's loose. And we are fortunately actually processing tech right now. Ah, fresh land to build on top of. As we slowly but surely fill this gap in. I should do the same over here with this former iron patch. Actually build that up. Okay, wastewater treatment 2 is done. That's good. That means I can now assign this to filter media. And it will have all the proper outputs. This will be filter media. And it automatically assigns once it gets the stuff brought in. Cool. This makes 36 units of filter media. Now I want to look at you. Okay, that's actually pretty nice. That's actually pretty nice indeed. I will need to replace the sand for the filter media. And that will give me back more water. An extra 40 units of water, and it has less sludge to deal with. In the end, thanks to the power of filter media. It does use more chlorine, though. It uses double the chlorine. Please tell me that this is not the only spot I'm making chlorine. That is the only spot in which I am making chlorine, isn't it? Ahem. New plan. You, brine, and then electrolysis. This does 48 from 90. This is fine. Make me dedicated chlorine. I can't help but notice that the that the thing is mirrored. I can't help but notice that the texture is mirrored. That's supposed to be a 2, but it's mirrored. It's reflected. Yeah, workers are always required. Let's not do that many at once. But hey, this will mean I need to input less water for my settlement overall. It needs 189, but this is going to be giving me back 120. How much waste are they producing? 158, oh boy. Yeah, so we get 120 back from the wastewater that they produce, which, you know, is 70. About 70, so I could actually run this off of one desalination setup rather than 2. I have 2, but only is using 1, which is great. That is fantastic. Ah, good. I can swap you now to the filter media. And that'll be good. That'll be glorious. Now, the slurry processing uses brine, and it gives me slag. Okay. Slurry uses brine and makes slag. That's good to know. As we get into the next tech, which is the uranium enrichment. So, uranium. Could I just connect it directly? Yes. Yes, I can. So, you are going to be uranium. This doesn't have a filter for uranium by default. Okay. So that means the ship is going to need to go out to get uranium on occasion. The one thing I'm not sure about with the cargo ship, with mixed loads like this, the one thing I was thinking about was, does it use that full 100? It says it uses 100 per journey. Is it going to be using that full 100 if it only has to go out to pick up 2? To pick up like just quartz or just uranium? Or is it going to try to wait until it needs both? Because that's not exactly a good thing if it needs to wait for both before it goes out on a trip. Because otherwise I would just need another cargo depot to save on the fuel. Which another cargo depot I can put down, it's just I wanted to use it on a mixed setup like this. So, uranium, we need to actually repair the mine. So start loading the ship. We need 400 construction parts to repair that particular uranium mine. And we need the workers for it, and the Unity production for it. Which, oh yeah, by the way, I've got a couple of edicts for fuel savings. I will take that off and see what my fuel situation is like, because we are full now on diesel. We are full. So the entire time we've had this setup going, it has been starved for water because of the chickens primarily and the food processor on the chickens. But yeah, now that we have sufficient water for all of the processes, hey, we're like full up on naphtha now. Hey, we're full up on fuel gas now. Hey, we're full up on diesel now. Gee. And all it took was me asking myself, is it really the developer's intention for me to have more than this at this point? Like, genuinely asking myself, is it really their intention for me to have more than this? And the answer is no, because it's actually not running efficiently. Because it didn't have enough water. I mean, yeah, there's an argument to keep the thing as empty as possible, but I don't know. And a bad ramp? No, that wasn't really... No, because I only added this ramp here as a result of adding the water. It was adding the water line, after adding the water line, that there were issues with access to the areas in here. It's only because that additional water blocked some things, and all that came after with access was just to fix that inherently. But hey, now they're using it. Now they're actually using this ramp to gain access, and that ramp can actually give them access to over here as well. And realistically, all the way in here. So you know that that storage that I moved. Ah. Oh, hey, Ollie. Why did I turn off the thingy? I've got a kitty. I've got a kitty here. I've got Ollie. He's been here a little bit. He's been here a little bit. He's sleeping. Yeah, there's the boy. Let's get that Ollie back on. Yeah, resting. Resting comfy. Comfy kitty. Yeah. Oh boy. Have we loaded? We still need 40 more units of construction part 3s. Oh, from my personal save, I did the math. Each rank on the uranium mine can support one nuclear reactor by my calculations. So the amount of ore produced for every like quote unquote 2x on the uranium mine seems to be able to support one reactor, which one reactor, from what I've read, supports 12 megawatts of power. All right, crew. Hey, do I have enough folks for crew? I don't think so, so I need to adopt a few so I can load enough crew to deliver the cargo. My point is that if I need to run more than one reactor, I'm going to need to do an upgrade to that mine for each reactor that I need to run. Now, the spent fuel storage lasts like 400 some odd years per reactor. So if we have 2 reactors, it's half that. It's a couple hundred years. We haven't even played the game for 400 years yet. So the whole time thus far, the entire playthrough thus far, and we've not even gone like the time it would take to fill a single spent storage from a single reactor. The base currently would be okay off of a single reactor if power is being preferentially used for that reactor. Note that it is 12 units for 50 workers. I want to make it clear here. We're spending 50 workers to get 12 uranium ore to get 12 megawatts of power. Okay, we're spending 50 workers on just the ore on the nuclear setup. This is not a particularly efficient process in terms of number of workers. So, glorious, wonderful question of the day is this ship going to move when there happens to be 360 units of uranium available to pick up? The moment there are 360 units of uranium available to pick up, I would assume that the ship would go out to pick up uranium because of the lack of it in the storages. And I would also assume that it will use the full 100 diesel, and that it would also pick up full loads of quartz. So this turbine array is 9 megawatts of power. It's about 9 megawatts of mechanical power is how I should word it. So it's producing, you know, the ratio downwards from efficiency losses. Standard efficiency losses. So what it means is that for every 1 fuel rod, we are replacing 18 times whatever units of coal per minute. I mean, the reactor is still going to use a line like this because the only thing that the nuclear reactor does is it produces high steam, right? It just produces high steam. So it replaces the boilers on the high steam, in which the boilers, they make 48 steam, which makes 2 megawatts of mechanical power for every 18. So while the nuclear plant, I think it produces 12 mechanical megawatts. How much does it produce? Where's the text? Text, high, U, because we actually need to get 2 technologies before we can actually, get power from our nuclear setup. Like, the first step is just processing uranium into rods, which, 12 into 12, 12 into 6 yellow cake, and then the yellow cake, you get 6 pellets, and 6 pellets makes 1 rod in the end. So you get 1 rod, and 1 rod makes 288 high steam, which 288 divided by 48 is 6, so 1 is equivalent to 6. So yeah, that's 12 megawatts of mechanical power. If you have it all in one line, it saturates the throughput of the line, so you won't be able to do any low-pressure turbine stuff on the same axle line, shaft line. Which in reality, what you'd end up doing is just splitting it into 2 lines with 2 high-pressure turbines, 1 low-pressure turbine, and however many power generators. That would be 2, 4. No, it would still be this. It would still be this, but it would be 2 of this. It would be 2 of this. So this... Yeah. Right. So it's 12 on the high steam for what I already have. So this entire thing can get replaced with 1 nuclear reactor. This entire thing can get replaced with 1 nuclear reactor, and it would produce exactly up to the 15.6 from the recycling of the low steam. And we get access to large cooling towers for the steam here as well. Yes, and there's vacuum distillation that can help with it as well. If I pick up that tech, which I haven't picked up that tech yet. I can add it to the queue, but whatever. That can reduce the water because it needs a lot of water to run. You need the 288 water. You get half back as steam, so it's your choice as to whether or not you want to produce the 144 water, which is 2 thermal desalinators. So it's the same infrastructure. It's the exact same infrastructure, just a nuclear plant or a nuclear reactor instead of this. Although not quite, because you need another source of water for emergency cooling. I don't know when you would need emergency cooling. I guess it's when you demand more than you are able to produce. It must be when you are demanding more than you're able to produce, I would imagine, and it starts to melt down. I'm not sure about specifics regarding any of that, but it has a fluid port on the actual reactor part of it that is for cooling, quote-unquote, emergency cooling. Don't know how that mechanic works. And of course, even though it uses this infrastructure, this same infrastructure, and it produces the 15.6 watts per reactor, you have to subtract the amount of power that is needed to refine the uranium into those fuel rods, as well as the power that is used for the storage of the spent fuel rods. But still, 6 times 18, you're still saving a ton of coal per minute, which is the entire point, is to not be spending the coal. We have obtained uranium enrichment. Oh boy. The fun shall commence. If you don't use the steam, so it will melt down if you don't use the steam. All right. So you set your turbines to not be auto balance. You set them to not auto balance. Right? That does it. Yes? No, maybe? You make it so that they're always running? And just deal with the losses when you're not using the full amount of power? Yeah, I see. All you have to do is just have it not be on auto balance. And that will use all of the steam. Right? Would it not, even when we're not using the stuff? Pretty sure that's how that works. It will produce 15.6, but we'll only be using 5.35. So rather than being 5.35 out of 5.35, it would be 5.35 out of 15.6. Up to. Right, and apparently it has settings for low, medium, and high. I'm going to be planning on high, building it so that it can support high. And if we can set it lower, I will. I will do that. For now, though, uranium processing. Let's have a look here. What buildings do I need for this? So I need a crusher. I need 2 settling tanks. Because I need hydrogen fluoride from rock and acid. Alright, so there's another acid expense. Although we're not using that much hydrogen fluoride, so we only need like 1 of these setups in grand total. So just a couple of buildings there, and then it will produce a tiny amount of toxic slurry. I'm just gonna dump that. I'm not gonna bother filtering the slurry from this. Well, good thing I have pipe 3s, so everything should be fine with it once we even unlock it. Like, once we even unlock it. And also, I don't know why we don't see the recipes for the large cooling tower there. Okay. Enrichment plant, crushers, settling tanks, electric assembler, and liquid dump. So let's start with the hydrogen fluoride production, which we're going to need acid. Yep, there we go, settling tank. We're going to need acid and we're going to need rocks. It's a good thing I have, you know, a supply of rocks right next door-ish. Although I think I'm just going to add its own dedicated rocks. Bring me rocks. And then for the acid, I'm just going to copy an existing acid build. Hello, acid. I should have enough excess water to bring water in. Ah, you need to be upgraded. Okay, that will be that. You bring in sulfur. Then I need the pipe from there to there. And I need to get rid of the slag. Slag empty. And tank. And there's the hydrogen fluoride. You make acid. Glorious, beautiful, wonderful acid. Generic acid. It's sulfuric acid. Like, let's make this clear. This is sulfuric acid that we are making from this. We are making sulfuric acid. And then we are converting it into hydrogen fluoride. Somehow. And the large tree. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, there's a tree there. Okay. That's part 1. Part 2. Do I need any of these buildings? I don't think I do. No. Part 2 involves crushing. So I do need a crusher. Crushing uranium. Then it goes into another settling tank. This time we are taking our crushed uranium. Oh yeah, and more, of course, and more acid. Because of course we're going to need to spend more acid, huh? Should I just belt it? I probably should. Deliver. And that will produce a toxic slurry that I need to a dump. Do I need truck access? I think I'm Just gonna do it this way. Give myself the option. For adding a doohickey ramp. And from there, we actually have a very familiar substance for those who have played Pyandon's mods, Factorio. We have glorious yellow cake. If only producing yellow cake was as easy as crushing ore and settling it with sulfuric acid. If only it were so easy to produce yellow cake. It's like, oh yeah, you just crush it and then you wash it in sulfuric acid. Voila, yellow cake. Ahem. While this game attempts to add a lot more realism than we usually see in factory games like this, while it attempts to do so, it has absolutely abstracted the uranium process, as well as like all of the ores. There's still a lot of abstraction on here. It's like, yeah, it's cool. We get to do blast furnacing into casting. We don't process the ore first, though, which there's a big set of steps before you even get into the furnace that we don't get in the game for the sake of fun gameplay. Like, copper and iron ore, like ore in general, is not ready to be cast into plates the moment it's pulled up from the ground. There's things you have to do to it first, usually. Otherwise, you're going to get something that's very low quality. Oh, hey, the ship came. It came with all of the things, of course. But it makes me wonder, once uranium is available in adequate amounts, will it go out again to get more uranium? Don't know. What I do know is that we should have yellow cake getting produced. Once this uranium travels down the crusher line into here, we will have yellow cake. Now, is that the end of my adventures? No, because from yellow cake, we have to then process into pellets in an enrichment plant, and that uses the hydrogen fluoride. So where is the enrichment plant? Probably under power production? Yes. Oh boy. Hello, enrichment plant. Excuse me? Oh, right. I sort of built that wrongly. So I've got the electronic 2s. Ah, that's a good point. Does this need upgraded maintenance? No, it's still maintenance 1. So our first building type that uses electronic 2s. Here we go. Now this is able to process a few more pellets than what I am, or no, it produces exactly. It's exact, so it will be 12 ore. Actually, 12 ore into 6 cake. Oh, I need 2 of these. $12, 12, 6. Yeah, I need 2 of these. 6 makes 6 pellets, and then 6 pellets makes 1 rod. Alrighty then. Easy enough. Are these flat storage? Yes. But I'm going to directly use them. So it's steel. There we go. Unit storage for the steel. It doesn't use much steel, which is really nice. And there we go. Now just give me a storage for the fuel rods. And we'll be good to go. Ta-da! So how much power is this taking? We've got 400 kilowatts there. Another 30, another 30, another 30. 20. Technically the amount for the water supply. Yeah, it's a fair amount. And the crusher here, another 30. So I don't know, it might be safe to say that it's close to a megawatt-ish. Not really, but it's between half and 1. It's about 0.75. And it means that these buildings in all of this theoretically should be set to high priority, very high priority, to make sure that they always get power. Because this generic priority setting determines priorities for worker assignments, electricity, maintenance, and Unity consumption, as well as priority for product delivery and removal when using trucks. It covers a ton of stuff. Covers all of the everything. Oh boy. Oh boy. We've got pellets. Pellets are getting made. Glorious, beautiful pellets. We almost have enough for our first cycle. The cycle needs 36. Oh boy. It'll take a few more cycles there when it's 3 at a time. 3 more total cycles, 2 after this. Come on, I want to see uranium before we end off. I want to see these rods. I want to see the rods happen before we end off this stream, because we're gonna have to end off the stream like now. Oh boy, there's Ollie. Yeah, there's the Ollie. That big boy. We are making a uranium rod, or 2, actually 6. We're making 6 uranium rods. It takes 3 minutes of real time when you're at 1x speed. We're a bit faster than that. We're at 3x speed, which I may actually not be able to run at the top speed because of frame rate. Yeah, the frame rate is 24, 22-ish. It goes down below 24, depending on what I'm looking at. We've got a few things getting processed across this map. Yeah, but I think this is about a minute. I think this is actually an X3. Huh. It's got a little niggle in the way. It got a little thingy in the way. Anywho, so we has rods. We has rods. They exist now. Yay. I are happy. We have rods, which means that we are in fact ready for when we eventually get this nuclear reactor tech. The things with this to note. A nuclear reactor takes 800 construction part 3s to build. That is not 12 megawatts of electricity when running on full power. It is 12 megawatts of mechanical energy, which, I mean, if you're reusing the low steam, may translate to 12 megawatts of actual power in the end, but whatever. We get large cooling towers, which are 80 part 3s, 150 part 3s for a single spent fuel storage. I have no idea how large this building is. Pretty large, I would imagine. It will produce spent fuel from this reactor. Yep, it produces an entire unit each cycle, and you gotta send it to the spent fuel storage, which takes up 10 workers as long as it's active. And the reactor itself is 80 workers. We have 64. But it will replace 24. It replaces 24 workers. Yeah, and then another 50 workers at the uranium mine. So it's a few workers. Few workers too many, I would say. Just thoughts on early access balance. I think that nuclear power generation uses too many workers overall. To be completely clear, it uses way too many workers overall. Almost to the point where it's not worth doing. Like, just eat the coal. Because, grand scheme, we're near the end of the game. At this point, we are approaching the end of the game. And, yeah, it's just weird. It's using that many workers compared to coal. And it's like, but I can get coal. Like, I can get coal. Like, there is a coal mine. There is a coal mine that uses less resources to upgrade, that produces, I think it's 48 per minute per rank. So yeah, it's, if I wanted more coal, I've got coal mines that I could do instead of the uranium mine with all of those workers. Anyway, with that, folks, it is time to end off this stream. I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. If you have enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff down below the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and hit the notification bell. Consider becoming a member of the channel by hitting the great big blue join button and supporting on Patreon at patreon.com/OtakuShowboat if you are so inclined and able. I will be back with more on Tuesday, where I will ideally be setting up nuclear power generation to replace all of the coal that we're spending on power generation, just so that our coal on the island will last a lot longer. I hope to see you all then.